Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nerd Wars. I'm so happy to hear. And there it is. Nerd Wars. Nerd Wars is back. I'm so happy to be here for a late episode. I was at the Jumanji Next Level screening, so sometimes these screenings happen and I get a little late. So thank you for bearing with me. I'm so happy that these guests stuck around last minute. Were still able to join me. I'm so happy to have this fight. This fight was pitched by one of the guests, and the other was ready to fight it. This is going to be a fun one. Ghostbusters is all the rage online right now. Everyone's talking Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters. Oh my God, finally they fixed Ghostbusters. The question is, did we need a new Ghostbusters? Now, I know that sounds like a dumb question, and we don't need anything, but we're nerds. It's Nerd Wars. We got to really debate, did we really need this? Have we had enough Ghostbusters? Is the Ghostbusters franchise overrated and not necessary? We're going to get all into that this episode, as well as some bonus fights, and you guys, as always, can get involved in the fight with your super chats and everything down below. If you become a member, join. You can hit the join button. It's next to subscribe. You'll get those cool little icons that Master Penguin and Michael Bryce all have, so you stand out in the chat. I love it. I see you guys. I see you. Is that Avatar? I see you. Isn't that something? Or what am I thinking? Anyway, I can see you guys, so thank you. Everyone else who becomes a member, you guys are keeping this channel running, so I appreciate it. Hit the join, learn the tiers, get the after show, so much more. So thank you for the support. And check out Roast Reactions while you're here. It's my new show I'm very happy about. It's a lot of fun. Click the playlist. I'll put it at the end, I hope, some point. But let's meet who's fighting today. It's time to get to this nerd war in my studio and via Skype, but usually in studio. I have my good friend Shannon Lynch. Hey, Shannon. Oh, your audio just cut out.
I'm going to unmute myself.
Oh, hey. Unmuted. There you go.
It's good to be on. Good to see you guys.
Great to see you, Shannon. I'm so happy to have you. And next to you, Adon. Hello. Adon next to me, really.
Yeah.
People don't understand. Adon's right here. See, look, I go here. There he is. And then he's right there. So it's kind of weird. And then sometimes I'll look over and then it looks the wrong way. But anyway, but Shannon was usually here, but Shannon didn't want to drive over and I didn't blame her. So thank you for calling in last minute and doing a favor. But my Florida locals here will be helping these two fighters who are doing their debut here in Nerd Wars. I'm so happy to have them both. Introducing on my left, Alpha Team, Adam Does Movies. Welcome, Adam.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
So happy to have you. I want to talk about something funny with Adam, but before I get there, let's introduce everybody. Tony from Hack the Movies is on Bravo Team. Tony, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. I hate Ghostbusters franchise. Let's do this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He's very passionate. No, full disclosure, everybody's here now. Full disclosure, Tony was one of the, sort of the brains behind this because he just was going off about it. I'm like, all right, if you're that passionate, I want to hear it. I always like to be as objective as possible, hear all sides in the show. Let's do it. So Tony, thank you for that. But I got to take a moment to talk to Adam because Adam and I have a funny backstory. And I'm glad we could clear the air, and I'm glad you're finally here. I remember Adam years ago when I was working at Screen Junkies doing a show called Movie Fights, and Adam was just, like many people are still, and like many people over my career have been pissed at me. Adam, I thought, was very pissed at me because Adam did a show. I don't remember what your show was called, but it was a very similar format to Movie Fights, and you thought we were ripping you off, and you didn't feel bad telling me so, and you started going off at me, really you stole my show. And I remember I had a big ego back then.
Just like me.
I had a big ego myself back then, so I'm sure was like, who is this minion thinking I stole their idea? To be honest, I never saw your show. I didn't watch any YouTube. I just never had time because I was so busy. As a YouTuber, I think you probably can relate. It's so hard to watch other people's shows, let alone watch them to steal from them. So to be honest, I genuinely never saw your show, but later I realized I felt bad, and then I saw you in my research for finding new guests, and I was like, Adam, man, it would be good to connect with Adam and clear the air. Anyway, thank you for coming, and I apologize if there was a miscommunication. Do you remember that debate as well?
Oh, I remember it, Andy. Like it was yesterday. You son of a bitch. No, it was never you. I didn't actually know who you were. I only knew of Screen Junkies, and I'd reached out to them on their personal. I mean, I guess that was you.
That was
I didn't
me.
know
Yeah.
if it was at Screen Junkies. I'm like, hey, we should do a movie feud sometime, and then a few months later. Movie Fights comes out on Screen Junkies. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, well, and so yeah, that was just the ego and the assumption that you'd ever heard of a pathetic little channel like mine with like probably 15,000 subs at the time. So
yeah, there was like a
It's
point.
all good.
There was a point. I don't remember you saying being on the show, to be honest. But I would check that handle once in a while. But there was a point later, I remember, or I guess it got forwarded to me by the guy, by the social media guy, who said, "Hey, there's a guy who says you stole Movie Fights." And then it got to me, and then I feel like we did engage, whether I then jumped in or something.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm glad it's water on the bridge. I apologize. To be fair, I've been doing this show, as anyone who's been watching this new one, I've been doing a version of movie fights since I was like 6. I had a show called Who's the Best where I would put characters against each other, and it was sort of the antithesis of movie fights. So my parents, I have all the old figures, like little McDonald's. I've been doing sort of pop culture debate for the longest time, so I think it's just great minds thinking alike. So I'm glad you're here.
There's no trademark on debating movies. That's what Siskel and Ebert did back in the day. That was what I was going to say.
Exactly. The other inspiration was just Siskel and Ebert watching as a kid. I was like, oh my God, I want to do that for the rest of my argue. I want to be the fat one in a duo. So it was a lot of fun. But anyway, funny. Glad to have you here. I'm glad we could make amends. I hope after you Google me, you won't feel sorry for being here. No, please don't. If you have questions, talk to me.
You didn't say that either. I didn't know you weren't with Screen Junkies anymore.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, I'm not on Screen Junkies.
What is this? I don't actually know why. So
what is this? What is this stupid channel I'm on? No, we were telling Adam. We were like, Adam. Yeah, Adam was like, well, you're not Screen Junkies. He's like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not. You should Google it, but do it after the show just so you don't have a lot of questions.
Do it after the show.
But everyone, Shannon, Adon, Tony, you can all attest. Adam is okay here. I hope you guys shouldn't feel worried.
It's a safe
space, and I'm not the monster that you may read and Google. Sadly, some people still think I am, but I'm not. I made some mistakes that were no one's business, and then it blew up into a big, huge thing. And you'll see the drama, but reach out privately. I will fill you in if you have any questions. But let's not talk about me. Let's talk about Ghostbusters. Who are you going to call Ghostbusters? And I'm happy because, Tony, you are very passionate about this. And Adam, you're a fan, so let's get to this. Master Penguin said, wait, this isn't Screen Junkies? Yeah, sorry. Anybody who's watching this, damn it. My apologies. But let's get to this fight. Everybody, thank you for joining. I'm going to start with, usually I start with Team Alpha, but I should have put Tony there. But Tony was so passionate about this, and Adam's still rushing this new. Let's start with you, Tony. Open us up with a quick opening argument, and then Adam, you can give us quick, and then you guys will go to it. Let's begin this nerd war.
Okay.
Tony, go ahead.
Ghostbusters was a very good movie. One movie. It was a very good one movie. They got it right one time. Everything after that has been disappointment after disappointment. 2016 was probably the worst one. And I'm sad for the fans that are deluding themselves and tricking themselves into thinking this new one is going to redeem the franchise when the franchise was already not good. It's just one good movie and nothing but disappointment afterwards. Wow. And I feel like I feel like Ghostbuster fans need to break up with Ghostbusters. It's not good for them.
Wow. So those are some strong thoughts in the opening.
Yeah.
I got cheers to that, I guess. Break up with Ghostbusters. It's the second time a Nerd War has become a bad relationship. We'll hear. Adam, what do you say? What say you? Is Tony ridiculous?
I mean, the whole conversation, the whole premise is somewhat ridiculous. I mean, do we need movies in general? I mean, let's just really break it down. You know, do we need Rocky 2 through 35? Do we need Rambo 1 through 17? Do we need 15 Home Alone movies, 5 of which went straight to TV? No, we didn't. But in there's gems. I mean, there's 2 or 3 fantastic Aliens movies. There's a couple good Terminator movies. Every one of these franchises goes and goes and goes. We just have to expect that from Hollywood. Ghostbusters never really even got going. They had one phenomenal movie. They had their Home Alone 2 that basically just redid the first one again. Ghostbusters 3 was a video game for the PlayStation 2, I think, and Xbox, 360. And then we have whatever the hell Paul Feig or whatever his name did, which was a disaster. And the trailer makes it known right away. It's been 30 years since a ghost sighting. This is not a sequel to whatever 2016 was. This is very much kind of in vein with the older films. We have Ivan Reitman's son is directing this, and he did the script. He got Dan Aykroyd on board. Bill Murray's there. The whole cast is coming back, the ones that are alive. And I'm very excited for it. I'm optimistic, but we've all been hurt in the past with these franchises. That doesn't mean we shouldn't go for it.
That's
right,
really great.
That is good. That is good. And so I want to make clear. First, I want to make sure you answer, Tony. Do we need 15 Rambos? And to answer everyone in the comments, damn right we have canned wine coolers here. Today's episode is brought to you by Smirnoff Ice Raspberry. Oh my God, so delicious.
Okay.
Cheers. But no, that's how I drink. But what was I going to say was I want to hear, do we need 17 Rambos? And guys in the chat, you can get involved in this fight. Leave your comments now, and I will be using people who donate to help support the channel, but also help decide a winner. So go ahead now, you guys, fight it out.
Okay, yeah. Let me answer the Rambo thing.
Oh, the debate's not over? Okay. Oh, sorry.
I don't want to turn this into a different debate. The answer is no. We don't need all those Rambos. I like the ending where Rambo died in the first one. I thought that was a stronger ending, and I would have preferred that with no sequels. But that's not what we got.
I mean, John Rambo was awesome. So
I didn't even bother. I
No?
was done. I was done after 3. I'm like, that don't like it. He should have died. Don't care. See, because I broke up with that franchise, much like Ghostbuster fans need to realize that the franchise this relationship isn't working. It keeps pulling you back time and time again. Your friends are telling you, don't do it. Don't go to the new Ghostbusters. And these fans are like, oh, Ghostbusters told me it changed. Ghostbusters told me it'd be different this time. Ghostbusters didn't hit me. I fell. Like, that's how I feel when Ghostbuster fans got excited for this new trailer. I'm trying to warn them. There's nothing good will come from this movie. You're just going to be let down by little kid Ghostbusters.
Well,
why the fuck are they doing little kid Ghostbusters?
I mean, a couple things to note. One, we haven't been let down time and time again. We've had one new Ghostbuster movie in like 30 years. So it's just, there's been a lot of script revisions over the years. Dan Aykroyd's been trying to get this movie made. He hasn't taken another job since. He just wants Ghostbusters made. Bill Murray's been cock-blocking them time and time again. And I think finally they just needed to see this disastrous stumble to pick them back up. The second thing I want to say is, what did you think about Creed?
Creed was fine. Okay,
Exactly.
That's an example of a franchise that kind of came back.
And this looks to be doing the same thing. We have the old Ghostbusters coming back. They're going to be obviously handing over the mantle to this young Stranger Things crew. I say give them the opportunity. You know, they could really make something special here. And there's not a lot of ghost-busting movies in that genre in general.
Now, the difference here is Rocky didn't fall too far. Like, 4 was a cartoon, 5 was bad, 6 was okay. And therefore
5 was bad.
Yeah, 5 was pretty bad.
5 was an abortion. 5 was
pretty bad.
A complete shit show.
Yeah. But the series had already redeemed them at that point with number 6. I mean, I would prefer no Rocky 6, but it was fine for what we got. So I was more accepting of Creed. Terminator, wow. Ghostbusters Afterlife reminds me of Terminator, where Genesis is so terrible. And people thought Dark Fate would be the one to redeem it. Now, I didn't see that movie because I'm not an idiot. And I knew to not see it, I broke up with Terminator, and it turned out that was terrible. Same thing with Star Wars now. People thought Star Wars would be good again. Those prequels were bad, but Star Wars changed, and they were let down again. So I think Ghostbusters, this is the next big letdown for people, and I just they need to not see it. I think I
guess that's where you fall on the coin. If you thought like Jurassic World was awful, or if you thought it was just the soft reboot that was still fun and kind of breathe some life in. If you thought Force Awakens was awful, or if you thought it was a fun, soft reboot that brought life back, I think that's just the opportunity that this film has. And it does look like it's at least trying something new. It's out in a farm. It's out in a small town this time. We have a different cast of characters. It looks to be a little bit more serious, but I'm sure we'll still get plenty of jokes. So
now, all that sucks. See, Ghostbusters was funny because it was about a con man roping his friends into starting a business that somehow became successful, and he was trying to bang one of his clients. That was the funny part.
I mean, it became successful because there was actually ghosts. So.
Yeah, well, the ghost thing, the paranormal thing, that was just
that was an aside.
They couldn't make a movie about exterminators that no one would care. The ghost thing was just a way to draw people in, and they toned down Dan Aykroyd's weird ideas in that first one. Like, that first movie could have been very, very different, but it's kind of like shocking that it actually turned out the way it did. And they've never been able to. The original cast and crew couldn't recreate the success with the second movie, and I don't know how you recreate that. It's just the movie's just about a con man up to shenanigans with his friends, and we already got that movie. There's no torch to pass. I don't care about new characters. I don't want to see that story told again. Like that's the Terminator problem, right? They made T1 and T2 is phenomenal, and then they just kept trying to make variations of T2 over and over again. Exactly, and they should have stopped. They should have stopped.
They should have. I
And the fans
guess
should not
but-
have been
But
excited.
we're talking 4 attempts at it, not just Ghostbusters 1. But then look what happened to Die Hard. Yeah, Die Hard 1 is one of the best action movies of all time. Die Hard 2, basically Die Hard 1 again.
Yeah,
except for with planes. But then look what happens with Die Hard 3. Fantastic tip of the hat to everything that came before, and it really took things into another level, I thought. So we have a Ghostbusters 3 opportunity. We have a Die Hard 3 opportunity here.
Why can't
Tony,
this
let it happen.
Tony,
Let
why
Die
can't
Hard
this
3
be Die
happen.
Hard 3? That's a very good point. I'm hearing your frustrations, but I'm not sold as to why you are so sold this can't be a Die Hard 3, because he's right. Die Hard 3 was a great return to form.
I just don't see it. There's nowhere for the story to go. The story was told. They just had a funny business. It was I'd never seen anything topple that first movie. I don't even like the original cartoon. The original cartoon works if you were a kid at that time who was too young to appreciate all the dick jokes that Bill Murray was doing. That cartoon is not that fun. It's like, okay, this is just a toy commercial, and that's what this new movie looks like. I saw the Ecto-1 have the seat that launches out, and I'm like, oh, that's a toy. They're going to sell me a toy. There you go. I'm fine with movies being shills just to sell products, but the fact that fans think this is going to be anything different than that is what's making me upset. This is a toy commercial. Everything after the first movie has just been a toy commercial.
So does this look to you like just a straight cash grab, even though the
100%.
even though the 2016 movie, I don't believe, made money, it actually lost money. So
yeah,
it's
but
actually
they still have that license. They still think they probably sold a lot in merchandise. I know because
do you think they did? I don't know. I don't know if I'd die on
well,
that horse.
I know for a fact that my aunt's kid was like 3 or 4. He got her tablet and ordered himself a ton of Ghostbusters toys.
Yeah, I mean,
kids like that shit. But
yeah, I don't think anybody's holding the Ghostbusters cartoon though in like high esteem. It's not something.
A lot of people do. You don't understand. Ghostbusters fans, like, that's like their thing. They love that cartoon, and I think that gives them the idea that they can make more movies. It's like, no, the cartoon wasn't that good. It was real formulaic. It was boring. It was just Bill Murray. The Bill Murray character is not that funny. He doesn't try to get laid at all. It was upsetting.
All right, I want to bring in, to make this debate a little, keep it going, let's bring in our guests here who've been listening. We have Shannon and Adon in the rings waiting to go. Adon, do you have any notes to help Tony?
No, I am going to actually agree with him. That's why I snuck away and I grabbed on your own shelf a toy right here of Ghostbusters back in the day. Classic. After the first movie came out, it was definitely commercialized to be for the kids. They softened up the second movie so that it would, because the first one was meant for adults. And then when they came out with the animated series, that's when they really start gearing it like, oh, we can do with toys. We can hit it for kids. They softened up the second one. And then they try in every iteration after that started getting more childlike, weaker. They started taking away from it. They tried redoing the animated series with Extreme Ghostbusters, bring back the 90s. It was a horrible, horrible show.
It's so terrible.
It was. And then, of course, when they did the Ghostbusters the last time, that was the most childish version I have ever seen of the Ghostbusters to date. Up until
I don't think
this
anybody's
going to
debate whether or not the 2016 movie was good. I think the whole reason for this is to get away from that movie.
But he's right. It's getting more and more childish.
And you know what? Like, I know earlier this year they even announced like more Ghostbuster toys coming out, and I guarantee you there's going to be more Ghostbuster toys coming out after they release this movie. It is a cash grab. They are pushing this in there, and the reason why we don't need this, it kind of takes away from the glory that was the original. When you start thinking about like all the stuff that comes out afterwards, you think about the originals, it's like what we deal with Star Wars. We love the originals, and then when the new stuff comes out and we're not happy, it kind of takes away some of the joy that we enjoy having to think about what we love.
Yeah, we got a couple things to address here. One, I think that most, not all, but most of the successful franchises out there are family-oriented in some sense. I mean, I've watched the Ghostbusters 1 and 2 with my children. A couple times. I've watched all the Men in Black movies with them. I've watched Indiana Jones, Back to the Future. All these movies have child themes. I mean, we're fighting ghosts. You know, we're traveling in time. They have these fun sci-fi elements to them, fantasy. But then there is the brilliant writing, or the subtle writing, or the improv from the actors that brings the parents in more. You know, you get that adult dialogue that just goes right over kids' heads.
Yeah.
I agree with you that some of these franchises just they go for the bottom, stupid, penis jokes or whatever. But we have the team back from the original. We have a lot of those core members back. They are going to do this right. I think that is the goal here. And any franchise can go into the mud, but Ghostbusters, I still don't think they ever really got past the first movie with a lot of people. So the only people we're really looking for here are the ones that love the first two films.
So wait, I'm going to interrupt you just for a real quick question. After seeing the trailer, do you not feel like it's going to focus more on the little girl rather than the actual original cast?
No, I don't.
I didn't
after
notice
watching the trailer.
Yeah, I thought it was just the kids. I didn't see just the girl, but I saw the kids in general. It seemed like it does seem like it's going to be more of a Stranger Things situation. I
Which
don't really
we have
want
enough of. We have enough of that shit right now.
We have
don't need any
Stranger
more
Things
Stranger
and what?
Things.
It? I don't know of many other. What else is there?
He's also just Stranger Things and It, but he's becoming
That's the movie.
Well,
Shit.
Shannon, what are your thoughts to help? Shannon, what are your thoughts overall to help with the pro? Why do we need Ghostbusters?
I want to address a couple things. I know the 2016 movie, we brought this up a couple times, but I'm going to bring up Wolverine Origins. Wolverine Origins was awful, right? It was awful. But everyone still loved Deadpool, and Ryan Reynolds spent 10 years on a project that he really loved and brought it to life. And I don't think at the time people thought we needed to see another sort of X-Men movie, but we were proven wrong, right? So that brings up if you have the right team, if you have the right staff, and you have the right story. So you have many of the same people who wrote the story, who know the story, come back. We've had the same actors. We've echoed that. Many ghost stories take place in the Midwest, so it's fun to see that environment again. But after watching the trailer, I do feel like it's going back to roots. I know everyone keeps bringing up the directors, but you have to look at the style of what someone was trying to say. Paul Feig is known for comedy. He's done Bridesmaids. He's done Spy. When I saw that he was doing Ghostbusters, I knew it wasn't going to be a serious film. I knew it was going to be slapstick comedy. And you look at the cast that he did; it was all comedians. Mm-hmm. So you weren't supposed to get anything serious. So it's apples and oranges when you're comparing this team and this writing staff and this story to the 2016. And you bring up a point about the show. I actually watched the show religiously when I was a kid. It was Ghostbusters, X-Men, and Gargoyles, and Spider-Man.
Good lineup.
And Batman that I grew up on.
Well, you not to jump in and take what you're saying, but you brought up such an amazing point, and you could go even further with that with Wolverine. You had two pretty bad Wolverine solo outings, and then we get a masterpiece with Logan. I mean, it's one of the best superhero movies of all time. It was okay. Until it went to like Transformer, Mech, Silver Samurai.
Yeah, then it went off the rails. But other than that, I thought that movie was fine.
Well, regardless, though, to your point, it's like they would have never gone further than the first movie because it was such a disaster. But they tried and tried again, and James got it right with the third one, and they knocked it out of the park.
But I mean, they also had like years and years and like decades of comics to work with. There was a lot of material with X-Men that you could use. I don't see a lot with Ghostbusters.
Well, the screenwriter for this one won an Academy Award for Juno.
Yeah.
Wait, was that? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Yeah, the screenwriter for this
Jason Reitman did Juno. Yeah. Well, no, she didn't write
won an Academy Award for Juno. So I think we have the writing talent available.
Well, here's the thing. You talk about original team coming back. Bill Murray doesn't give a fuck about Ghostbusters. He doesn't care about Ghostbusters.
That's true. That is true.
He doesn't, but you said the story is about you don't want to hear anything about a con man. Bill Murray was the con man. So if Bill Murray doesn't give a fuck and he's not part of it, then that's not going to be a problem.
But if he is going to be in the movie, it's going to suck because he doesn't care. He's not going to act. It's going to be like Ghostbusters 2 when he clearly didn't want to be in that movie.
No, I don't think the original Ghostbusters are going to have like a ton of time in this movie. I think it's going to be a handoff.
Nah.
But I think it'll be done in a tasteful, respectful way, considering the
A
team
Forceful
that's there.
Awakens,
I don't
as we call it now. It seems to be how every reboot happens. Is a Force Awakens the proper approach for this kind of thing? Is that a good or bad?
Or would it be more of a handoff like when Bill Murray fell out the window of the last movie? Where they just kill off his character right there.
You know
I
what?
think that's why it
Subtle. It
needs
was
Force
very
Awakens.
kind,
Just kill
yeah.
all the old
Can we
ties.
not have a passing of the torch? Can we just have like forcefully taking the torch out of the previous person's hand? Like, I'm tired of this. Oh, you're the next generation.
Forceful Awaken. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where you guys sit on The Last Jedi or Force Awakens, but I really enjoyed The Force Awakens. I thought they were setting up some cool, interesting characters, especially with Finn and Poe to a lesser extent. But The Last Jedi, of course, steamrolled and ruined all that for me. But this Ghostbusters movie has that opportunity to at least set it up right, or maybe even tell a cohesive beginning to end story.
Here's the thing with Star Wars. I broke up with Star Wars before The Force Awakens came out. I didn't get excited. I didn't get hyped. I was like, whatever. So the movie came out. I'm like, all right, this is fine. Last Jedi comes out. I'm like, all right, this is kind of lame, but it's not ruining my day. These people haven't broken up with Ghostbusters yet, and they're just getting. This is going to be their Last Jedi. I'm saying it right now. Ghostbusters Afterlife is going to be their Last Jedi.
Hold on,
They're
hold
gonna
on. How
Well, they never had their Force Awakens yet.
I was gonna say, how is this not? How can this be the Last Jedi when Ghostbusters 2017, 16 happened? Wasn't the Paul Feig for the Last Jedi? I mean, for fans of the original.
I mean, 2016 was trying to repeat the first movie, much like Force Awakens was trying to repeat A New Hope. And people wanted something different after that was going to, like, kind of fix things. And Last Jedi did not do that for him.
Okay, well, it could be like how about it's like a Jumanji then? Remember the Robin Williams Jumanji that everybody loved and cherished? And then they made this version with The Rock. And I was like, what the hell? This is never going to work. And boom, we got a sequel coming out in a week or two. And he just saw it.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see the new Jumanjis. They looked like shit, and I didn't care.
Yeah, it's not.
Well,
It's
a lot
not
of
that
people
good.
enjoy them, and they might not be
Yeah,
targeted
sure.
to you. So
But again, with original people, like everyone's like bragging about the director's son working on this, and how that's somehow a good thing. Did no
I
one
think so.
Okay, did no one see Solo when Lawrence Kasdan like roped his son into writing that movie with him, and now suddenly Lando is fucking robots? I don't give a shit about. Okay, his dad made a good movie. Great. Who gives a fuck? He's probably not the right. Just go to Solo. Solo is a good example of nepotism not working for movies.
I mean, if they replace Bill Murray with some other dude, then I could see the problem. But they're not doing that, so I'm okay.
I'm saying
I'm okay.
Dan Aykroyd's gonna end up fucking like a ghost or something. I'm worried.
He already did that.
He already did that, yeah.
Didn't he do that in the first movie?
You know what's weird? That's a deleted scene that they chopped into a dream sequence. That always
That's
bothered
true.
me. That scene. I'm like, what is this?
That was
And
Dan
that's the whole
Aykroyd's
thing,
idea
like,
for
he's
that scene
dressed
too.
as
What was
like
the
that
BJ?
ghost.
This is a blowjob ghost, right? And that was with Aykroyd was the
Yeah.
blowjob ghost. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which most kids don't understand that happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's all in.
Yeah,
Right.
that's like a scene they cut out, and they're like, "Oh, we still want the blowjob joke. Let's work it in as a dream sequence
can't
that
have
doesn't
enough
make
of the
sense." And it worked. 'Cause
blowjob
it was a
ghost.
funny blowjob joke. You can't do that in a kids movie.
Yeah, blowjob ghost came. I remember that in movie fights. Blowjob ghost came about. Yeah, that was a
but
good
you
pull.
just completely derailed your own point. You said they're going to have him have sex with a ghost, and then we're going to talk about the first movie. How that
I was
basically happened.
exaggerating.
What the hell is happening?
I was exaggerating.
That was his wishful thinking.
I want to, Shannon. I want to make sure you got your words in. Anything else you want to add here to defend Ghostbusters' honor as we wrap this up?
Well, for
Your internet.
I lost your mic.
We lost your
Shannon?
mic.
It's
we're
okay. I
looking
didn't
at
sabotage you at all.
There we go.
right?
Go ahead, Shannon.
Right,
Now I
so
hear you.
we're looking at nepotism.
Yeah.
There's one thing looking at nepotism with someone that doesn't have film credit, and there's another thing when you have Academy Award after Academy Award with Ivan that's doing it. Juno, Up in the Air, Thank You for Smoking, Labor Day. He was part of all those projects. And then you
Didn't
also
his
have
last
Paul
movies
Rudd.
Bomb though? I thought his last few movies bombed.
Oh, that means they're bad then.
I'm just saying.
Transformers movies are the greatest movies ever made. They all make $1 billion.
Keep going, Shannon. Go ahead.
Also, you gotta look to Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd can act, and he's funny too. I mean, have you seen the Netflix series Living with Yourself? Oh my God, he really does the spectrum when it comes full swing. Plus, you can't tell me you're not interested in the story when you're talking about the architect who built the the place where everything happened is focused on this town. I mean, that's enough of a hook for people to come and going, oh, okay.
You're talking the
That's
Shandor
interesting.
Mining Company, the call out to that. Yeah.
Wait,
Yes, exactly.
Is this going to be Gozer and Zool again? Did I see Zool in the trailer?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
as Shannon said, the Shandor Mining Company refers to Ivo Shandor, which is the architect of the building
Right.
that Dana Barrett lived in, which is where Zool and he's a cult of Gozer. So yeah, it's a big implication that it's not just randomness. It's all connected to. Clearly, that's probably why Egon got that farmhouse.
connected.
It's all connected in a way. And hence the Bill Murray line of whether it's luck or karma, this is we're meant. So it seems that it's definitely a true spiritual sequel connecting to the original in a way. Which, and you're closing here. Does that make it better or worse, Tony? And I to help Adam, but Tony, it does seem like it is attempting to be a respectful, legit sequel to that movie you love. Can that not work? Give me your closing remarks.
No, because no one gives a shit about Gozer. Like, Zool was just a funny way to get Dana possessed. And then Bill Murray's like, oh, man, the girl I'm trying to bone is a ghost now. I got to, save her. And then they killed them. Gozer left, whatever. Gozer's gone. Why are we doing Gozer again? Why? Okay, Zool's going to come back and possess who?
If
God
people
damn it.
if there's a huge audience that gives a shit about the Ghostbusters cartoon, then they clearly will care about Gozer as well. I mean,
Gozer wasn't that big a character in the cartoon.
He was big in the
Freaky
game.
go back.
He was part of the game.
He wasn't big in the cartoon at all.
No, I'm just saying if there's diehard Ghostbusters cartoon fans, then they're gonna know who Gozer is. So
I know, but they already beat Gozer, and now Gozer's back, and now it's tied to Ivo Shandor, who was going to be played by Martin Short, and then someone was like, hey, we don't need this much backstory in this goddamn movie. Let's chop this all out. And now this movie's like, yeah, let's put all that pointless backstory back. Oh, man. This is just it's just pandering to fans. I didn't even know all this shit until you guys just told me that. Now I'm upset.
All right.
It's so
Sorry,
desperate.
not sorry.
It's so desperate. Just, God damn it. Could someone make something... I was going to say Men in Black was probably the best follow-up to Ghostbusters, but even that series got shitty, after one movie.
Well,
I liked them all. I mean, 2 is not great, but they're all watchable and
Three was tolerable, but didn't the latest one also sucked? Also released by Sony.
Yeah, it's a mess. But now we go off into.
Was Agent K and J even in?
I don't need an argument. Ding 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 ding. Adam, you don't need it. It doesn't matter. Tony, I gave you your closing to see if you had a last fight in you. Wow, look, I think you do make some interesting arguments. I think you actually make a good point with we don't care about Gozer. That's fair. I think I'm a fan of Ghostbusters. I don't need to go back to it. Granted, they're trying to connect it all and make it more special. So look, you're right. You're right on a few of these points. But I mean, Adam got you pretty early on with Die Hard 3. And it just is sort of, who would have thought that Die Hard 3 would have come around and turned the franchise back to way in a respectful, fun way that makes it fun again. And you didn't sell me enough as to why this franchise can't get us to a Die Hard 3 level. And I think you started losing your own self, talking about, Bill Murray isn't going to be in it, and we don't need Bill Murray because he doesn't care, and the sex, and it started losing its weight. So while I understand the passion, and I'm sorry you're not excited, I couldn't hear enough to see why we should discredit this new movie. Adam, Shannon, I got to give you guys the first points.
Well, I mean, I didn't think I was going to win. I knew I was outnumbered. But here's all I'm going to say. I hope Afterlife comes out and it's your guys' Die Hard 3, and I hope you guys love it. And I hope you stick with the franchise long enough to get the Ghostbusters version of Die Hard 5, and you all start hating yourselves again. That's all I'm going to say about that.
We don't talk about Die Hard 5, Tony.
Die Hard 5 is so fucking bad.
It's
It's really
bad.
bad.
It's so bad.
It's really bad.
It's really bad.
Are you coming back like a ghost of the vengeance on this? I hope it comes great so it will suck in the future.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
I wish
Die
you
Hard 5.
will.
I want to
Quick
drink your
side bit about
tears.
Die Hard 5. I got dumped the week that movie came out, and my friend's like, "Oh, I'll make you feel better. Let's go see Die Hard 5."
Oof.
And then I walked out of the theater. I'm like, "Wow, I feel worse. I actually feel worse now."
Yeah.
I can see that movie
sorry
doing
for
that
your
too.
losses.
That woman drank, and now I just saw one of my favorite heroes turn into a fucking cartoon character. God damn.
One last point to the Ghostbusters thing about originality or nothing being able to be milked out of this thing. There are 30 years of unused Ghostbusters scripts with good ideas in them. At one point, Bill Murray requested to Dan Aykroyd he wanted to be killed off in the first scene of the movie and just haunt them the rest of the film. Now that would be funny as hell. But there's lots of that stuff.
Did anyone write these scripts with Dan Aykroyd? Because when he's left to his own devices, he's a crazy person.
I think Harold Ramis worked on one too.
But that can produce some good stuff, you know.
I was going to say, Nothing But Trouble is a good example of Dan Aykroyd having complete control.
I remember that movie. I actually enjoyed that movie for the wrong reasons.
It's a bad movie. It's a very bad movie.
I remember Dan Aykroyd's also in Casper, the Casper live-action movie. Dan Aykroyd's in there.
Oh, there's your Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah, there's your Ghostbusters 3.
The one where he didn't even shave his mustache for like the role. I think
we should have went with that because we could have been like, that's canon.
He was scared of the ghost.
Yeah.
Better call someone else.
Can they make that canon in Ghostbusters Afterlife? We're like, what happened? Oh, well, they got old.
That's the villain. Casper's actually the villain.
Yeah, he wasn't able to.
Man, a Casper cameo would be a really cool.
A Casper cameo would be nice. Yeah, that would
I would watch it if they had Bill Murray. After Zombieland, he got shot and his ghost was in it too. Oh my God.
Now we're talking about a good shared universe. Speaking of shared universe, you can have these guys show up. It's my Simpsons Ghostbusters shirt.
Oh, nice.
There you go. All right, bravo, guys. Let's get to the next point. I'm going to give Tony the option. Would you like to play Who's the Best or Blu-ray Battle?
I don't know what either of those are. Who's the best? I'll do Who's the Best.
Okay, he picked Who's the Best. Guys, who would be the best Ghostbuster? I'm going to do this randomly. How's that?
Sure, yeah.
I'm pulling them at random. I'm off the cuff, random. Oh, we have Chuck Norris.
Okay.
Oh, we have Mr. T. Wow. Who would be the best Ghostbuster? We have Chuck Norris and Mr. T. That is a fun one. Ooh. All right. So the way this works, I'm going to flip a SD card. Tony, Adam, you won. You get to flip heads or tails?
Heads.
It is tails.
Okay.
That's
fair.
Tony, you get to pick. Would you like to have Chuck Norris or Mr. T? Who would make the best Ghostbuster?
Mr. T.
Okay, so Tony and Adon, you have Mr. T. Shannon and Adam, you have Chuck Norris. Now, you must debate. This is a quick round. You must debate why the other would make a better Ghostbuster. And since you chose first, Tony, you have to go first. So why would Mr. T make the better Ghostbuster?
Okay, I've heard Mr. T do interviews on the Howard Stern show years ago. And I think that guy can just talk for hours and hours and just lecture these ghosts on how horrible they are. Whereas Chuck Norris is going to do roundhouse kicks. He's going to get tired. Mr. T, he could yell at fucking ghosts all day long. He'll do it for free. He doesn't even need a proton pack. He'll just scream at them until they feel bad about themselves to the point they'll never work up the courage to scare again. So, yeah.
Okay, great opener. Adam, what do you think? Why would Chuck Norris make the better Ghostbuster?
I mean, not only did the star of Sidekicks kick the living shit out of everybody in that movie and pretty much in real life, but if you want to talk about talking people down, isn't Chuck Norris the guy that got Expendables 2 from an R down to a PG-13 because he didn't like the swear words and the blood? Ooh. I mean, you want to talk about a guy, bitching and moaning. Chuck Norris can do it just as well as he can karate chop.
But he wasn't good enough to talk Texas into putting Bibles into public schools. That was like a big thing that he was doing for a while, and he wasn't able to win that. Mm-hmm. So I don't think he's able to. Yeah,
could Chuck Norris do a rap about respecting your mother? No, but Mr. T can. Mr. T taught kids how to respect their mothers. Chuck Norris ain't gonna teach that to the
How
ghosts.
Is that gonna help Ghost Bust?
I don't think ghosts care about your
aggressive.
Because these ghosts are probably stuck on Earth because they have leftover trauma from their relationship with their mother, and they really need to apologize to their mother. They need to work on that. So Mr. T's going to send them to the afterworld to go make peace with their mothers.
Hey, look, there's no comparison. Chuck Norris is the man, the myth, the legend. He was the internet meme before there were memes, okay? Chuck Norris can take his fist and punch Zool into oblivion. He doesn't need a proton pack. He is the man himself. He is a god. He can handle anything. He doesn't even. He could just come in and every ghost is gonna whimper themselves back into hell. They're not gonna want to deal with this because Chuck Norris can handle anything.
So,
Actually, now
Absolutely right.
this conversation just reminded me. I think there is a Walker Texas Ranger episode where he has to fight ghosts with like a Native American's help or something. Someone fact check me on that. I think that episode.
and you know who's part Native American
Walker
in
had to
the
fight
A
ghosts.
team? Mr. T. Mr. T got hit the Native
I mean,
American
Chuck
tribe
Norris
on his side.
is-
Whoa.
That's right. So Chuck Norris needed some assistance in that part, so he couldn't do it on his own. And Mr. T can. Mr. T is the man, and that's all he's gonna tell. He's gonna tell the ghost, "I pity the fools," when he walks into the room, and they're gonna just back down and be like,
part of
"I'm
the
all ears."
A-team. He is not a solo man. What are you talking about?
Oh, we're talking about Mr. T in real life. Fuck his character. Mr. T in real life. I'm trying to picture a ghost sneaking up on Mr. T in real life, and it's just really funny to think of.
I am
But
looking.
Chuck Norris can ride eagles and
Yeah,
solve
Chuck
everything.
Norris, Chuck Norris would just kill himself to become a ghost, kill all the ghosts, and then get resurrected again. I mean, that's what he does.
Everything we just said right now sounds more interesting than Ghostbusters Afterlife. I want to
Have you
point
guys
that
seen the
out.
Frighteners? Have you seen the Frighteners? Michael J. Fox
I can't.
dies at one point to
I
become a
couldn't
ghost.
find Chuck
That's
Norris
right,
fighting
yeah,
a ghost,
Frighteners
but I
is
am
great.
looking at Chuck Norris fighting a wolf.
Wait, what is that?
I couldn't
Wait.
find him fighting a ghost, but he is fighting a wolf.
All right, I'm
It's going to a spirit.
Oh my god, it's turning into like the Three Wolf Moon. Is he gonna go to a spirit world?
They made Chuck Norris Native American in this.
Wow. He just made that wolf just.
I thought there was an episode where he fought a ghost.
God, look at that vicious beast. And the
He's just
wolf is
staring it
scary
down.
too.
The wolf is scared of him.
Yeah.
That's more Crocodile Dundee style, though.
That wolf's like, all right, fine, Chuck Norris, I'll
The
leave.
superimposed on the moon.
I mean, I
Wow.
have confidence that
So
Chuck
good.
Norris would save my life. I feel like Mr. T would beat me up too. Like I think Mr. T wouldn't stop at the ghosts. He'd just fight everybody, and that's not. That's
Nah,
not.
Mr. T had a heart of
That's
gold.
not
He
fun.
cared
Doesn't
for
even
the
need to
people. He
fight.
cared
He
for
can just
everybody.
lecture people. Have you ever seen his like PSAs and stuff he did? He can sing, he can rap. No ghost is gonna sit.
Are you saying like are you saying that Mr. T can just lecture a ghost to go away? That's not how it
Yeah.
works. He's
Yeah,
not
no.
he doesn't
Like a
even know
roundhouse
that.
kick
He
works
can't
to a
even-
ghost.
He'll figure out why Gozer's going to dimension to
Is
dimension.
this a
Like
movie we're supposed to watch? Mr. T's just talking for.
All right,
having
well,
a
to be
fireplace
fair,
chat.
since I showed a Walker clip,
Stay out of people's dimensions.
here we go.
The name is Mr. T. First name is Mr.
Wait, what was
Middle
that?
name is that period. Last name is
I think
T.
Andy's
I'm
just
playing a
watching
clip.
Chuck Norris clips.
I'm trying to play a Mr. T
You
clip
need to
now.
tune this out because
Let me
Chuck
tell you
Norris
something
is
right
clearly
now.
superior.
Hold
He's
on.
not watching
Don't
Mr. T
work.
Hold on,
clips. He's
Shannon.
watching Chuck Norris clips because
Hey.
Chuck Norris.
Hold
is
on,
superior.
Shannon. Wait, Shannon, wait.
Have you ever
Screen
been
isn't going
accused of
anymore.
doing
Andy's just
something?
He's
watching
not.
videos.
Hey guys,
Listen,
he's
and
not
listen
really
good.
lecturing.
I'm
He's just
talking to
talking
you.
nice.
Wait, you gotta pause it.
Never saw him again.
Because look at him. He's covered in
fellas.
crosses. He's literally a chapel
like, I
walking
don't
in
have to
gold
tell you.
crosses.
Understand?
Oh my God!
You
yeah,
think
I
all
can-
Indians are the
forgot that
same?
website
You think
existed.
all
All
Indians are the
Latinos
same?
the same?
All Latinos
All
are the
Chinese
same?
the same?
All Chinese
I
are the
can't
same?
hear it at all.
Indians are
No,
the
there's a
same
lot
either.
of
You wear glasses, Eddie.
Oh, look at those socks.
These clips are crazy. Look at those socks. Sorry, you guys can't watch what I'm watching. Because I played a Chuck Norris clip, I wanted to be fair and play a Mr. T clip. So I was trying to help with that bait gauge. All right, I got to say Chuck Norris wins in the clip war. But final argument, go ahead, Adam and Shannon, for Chuck Norris. Last point. Everyone vote down below. Now's your chance to vote for Alpha or Bravo. But for
Don't let it control you.
oh, sorry.
He's
And
smart.
muted
I
him.
muted you guys.
And you'll
by
be
accident.
smart.
All right, so guys, everyone at home, vote down below for Mr. T or Chuck Norris. Adam and Shannon, last thought on why why Chuck Norris is the better person to be a Ghostbuster?
Really? This isn't even a debate. This is like the entirety of the whole. This is the whole night, isn't it? It's just Tony defends bullshit. Like Chuck Norris. Shannon said it. Chuck Norris is a meme. He's always been a meme. He was born a ghost. He was born a legend. He can do anything.
Born a ghost.
He's the Ghost Rider. He walks between both worlds. He's Blade. He's a daywalker. He's everything.
He's everything and nothing all at once. He is just gone. It's just
Okay,
Chuck
I'm gonna
Norris.
say it. Picking Chuck Norris was a little unfair. There's too many memes. Like you pick
There it is.
one guy who the whole meme about him is how he's like basically God.
Exactly.
How do I debate that? Fucking Andy, he's really screwed me over.
I told you not to give up.
But you picked the other one.
You had first choice.
Listen,
I told you not to give up.
I'm not giving up
Adon,
here.
you better
I'll
save
hold this
him.
wrong. Like, listen,
Like,
just
all
stays on
night,
the edge.
I
Just
thought
lives
I
on
had
the
enough
edge.
confidence.
All right,
But-
let's see if Adon can save you. Go ahead, Adon.
Chuck Norris and Mr. T has literally done everything Chuck Norris has. He has done the battles. He has done his own shows. He's done more than Chuck Norris has. They both have cartoon shows. They both have action figures. Their characters are iconic no matter what. The thing is, Chuck Norris, he's iconic for the silliness that he is, but he's not going to hold it down when it comes to a ghost. When a ghost comes down, who's going to stare it down? Mr. T. Mr. T is going to be that one that stares it down, and we're not talking about on film. I'm talking about in life. That thing's going to show up, and he's going to be like, you know what? I got God on my side, and I'm going to step
Chuck
up. And
Norris
I don't know why I went
created
pastor mode on
Mr.
that,
T
but I did.
in his image and
Because-
likeness. Sculpted him from clay.
Adon,
Listen,
I'm
you know what
sorry,
sculpted?
but I pity
He
the
got all
fool
those
that
gold
thinks
chains
Chuck Norris
sculpted. I'm
isn't
sure he
good
got
enough
all of
to
them
be a
blessed just the
Ghostbuster.
same.
Hold on, Shannon. Wait.
And
You
if-
guys got to finish before you talk. Go
And
ahead.
if he can knock out if anyone can knock out a ghost, is all those crosses that he's gonna rock and sock all across their jawline.
Listen.
Does Chuck Norris have? Does he have Jesus blessed boots? No, he does not.
It's got the
Mr.
Holy
T
Spirit.
does?
I bet if anything, but he
You
does.
bet. You bet he does.
I bet he does.
I bet you fool.
You melt down like the 80s passed on. I'm sure he melted down that gold and put it in the soles of his heels. There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Thing,
I gotta say. Well, go ahead, Tony. Quick.
Real Chuck Norris is not going to fight any ghosts because he's a very, very devout Christian. He probably doesn't believe in ghosts other than the Holy Ghost, and he would never fight the Holy Ghost because that would go against Jesus.
Oh, Adam Shannon. That's a pretty good point. He's very religious.
We're talking
I
about
saw him at
evil
a.
I'm
I
very
ran into
religious,
Chuck Norris at an
and
IHOP
he already
once,
goes on
and he was
the-
praying with his family.
That's not true.
I can attest to this. I ran into him in the Encino IHOP once, and he was with his family, and they couldn't eat their pancakes until they all finished their prayer. The dude's clearly very religious. Could he fight a ghost?
Chuck Norris
Yeah,
throws
he could.
down his
He could.
staff.
If he's very religious,
shall not
all he has
pass.
to do is know a few words in Latin, then boom, done. Ghost is gone. That's the Catholics and the priests have been fighting ghosts since like pre-1400. So that's not even a fair argument, okay? And Chuck Norris is the internet, and the internet brought us Baby Yoda. Like you're gonna watch Chuck Norris. You're not gonna watch Mr. T.
Yeah, but we're not talking about watching. We're talking about who will fight a ghost.
Yeah, and I can't find it on YouTube. I got to give Tony the point. Tony, Don saved you there, and man, it was very close. All right, we got to do a tiebreaker, and the fans were voting for Mr. T as well, so I did let that sway me slightly. Mr. T, you're back in it. All right, it's time to do one last Blu-ray battle. I'm going to pick two movies at random. If you both, let's see here. Is this a good one? Ooh, that's a weird one. What do you think of these two, Adon?
The hell's voting on this thing? Tony just called up
that
all his
is
family and friends.
That's hard, though,
Come in
isn't
the
it?
chat, vote.
That's fucking hard
That's
for
an
me.
extreme contrast.
If I attempted to call my family now, they're going to be like, what is this stupid bullshit? We don't
All right.
care. Fuck it.
What?
All right, Tony, since you won, you get to heads or tails on my SD card.
Heads.
It is tails. So Adam, you get to pick the movie. I mean, I
don't
picked.
even know what we're doing.
These
Sorry,
are these
I'm
are
still
t-
flustered by the last
yeah.
debate.
You're,
Go ahead.
Tony with the big Uno card at the end there. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Bragar. So wait a second. This is how Blue works. I have two Blu-rays in my hand. You're gonna have to pick one and debate for it, okay? And I picked two completely random, but these to me are. I mean, I think these are both really fantastic films.
So it's Big Mama's House 1 and 2.
No, but here they are. I make sure you both have seen them. I would hope you are as film fans.
That was a series with a band.
We have Heat. Okay.
Oh.
You both have seen Heat.
Yes.
Okay.
30 years ago.
Versus Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a hard one, isn't it?
That's where I like to live. Planes, trains, and automobiles.
All right, so you're picking Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Tony, Adam, and Shannon, you have Planes, Trains. That means that Don and Tony, you have Heat.
I don't
right.
know how these are remotely comparable or debatable, but we'll go
So
for
here,
it.
which one do you buy and which one do you erase?
Oh my God.
Yep.
That's right. So you're
So now you have just erased. Are you picking Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Adam?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna live on the edge like Tony here, like my boy Tony. We're gonna go with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
All right, so you're buying Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and you're erasing Heat. That means
I am.
Tony,
Oh, yeah,
you are
I'm
buying
erasing.
Heat, and you are erasing Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Adam, you get to go first.
Okay. We don't have a lot of Thanksgiving movies. Let's start there. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a holiday magical time for the whole family. You bring your kids over, you bring your grandma over. We all have a blast watching Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. There's a Thanksgiving dinner at the end. You got John Candy, you got Steve Martin, you got a Kevin Bacon cameo. They're all having fun. They're having laughs. I guess there is that one swear word F-bomb scene that goes on for like 5 minutes, but just cover the kids' ears. Or you know what? They're going to grow up eventually, so let them hear it. Let them know what the real world's like. Heat, we have 1,000 Heat movies. We have 1,000 bank heist movies. We're not going to miss that. I mean, we'll miss it a little, but that's okay. We can live without it. We can't live without our king, John Candy, R.I.P. He has so many quotable lines in there. These aren't pillows. He talks about he sells shower curtain rings for fuck's sake, and it's a guy you can get behind. He's a blue collar, honest worker. Yeah, absolutely. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles all day long. No disrespect to Heat.
All right, that means now it's up to you,
Happy
Tony.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Why are we keeping Heat over Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Oh, my girlfriend's gonna kill me. She loves Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Okay, so I'm gonna pick Heat. Very, very good heist scene, very good action, whatnot. Very, very serious crime drama. It inspired Christopher Nolan when he made his Batman movies, which led to me being an extra in The Dark Knight Rises. So I'm going with Heat because I got to live out my dream of being in a Batman movie one day. Boom.
Wow.
I have not watched Heat.
Adon, do you want to try and help him here?
You know why you haven't watched it in 15, 20 years? Because it's 7 hours long.
But let me chime in there. My family watches this almost on the yearly. So
Really?
this
On
movie
Thanksgiving? Do they
is an
watch it on
iconic movie. It's literally Al Pacino, Robert De Niro at one of their finest moments at their peak. And then you have an iconic scene that
Are you
is...
holding Godfather in your hand or Heat?
No. We're talking about Heat. We have an iconic scene with two of the greatest actors at that time that were... Everybody was focused on this scene where they're finally meeting up and everybody's like, this is such a great scene. And it was done so beautifully well, no one even knew that they weren't even in the same room. It's a cinematic masterpiece in many different ways. Yes, it wasn't a comedy, but this is a film on its own par. You have action, you have drama, you have suspense, you have the whole gambit. The academies recognize it, people recognize it. I have family that are in law enforcement that love this movie for all sorts of reasons in regards to it and how they portray the law enforcement side versus like your good old gangster movie that you want to watch of crime. You know, it has all those entertainments. And it just really one of those films that you can just watch, zone out, get into it, and just let yourself be carried into the story. That's a hard thing to sell.
I want to watch Heat now. Shit.
Okay, so I'm going to go a very, very low blow. I apologize, but don't repeat Die Hard 5, Tony. Don't erase the film your girlfriend loves. Planes, automobiles, and all that. Okay? Don't erase it. Like, I don't want to put you through the heartbreak. Make her happy.
I'll
Buy
say
the film.
just because she loves it doesn't make it great.
Christmas holiday season. It's the Christmas season. Get her that. It's a holiday movie. Perfect. Don't erase it. That's the one you're gonna go on.
Look. Planes, Trains didn't give me the opportunity to live out my dream of being in a Batman movie. Heat did.
Yeah, but
Sorry,
you were in the
Heat
worst Batman movie. Adam gets the
Doesn't
point.
matter. No.
Adam wins. Ding, 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 ding. Dark Knight Rises sucks. Ricardo, Bunda, Andy always bashes the Dark Knight Rises. Thank you for the super chat, Bunda. Andy always bashes Dark Knight Rises. Tony should debate him. Dark Knight Rises, come on. That's where you went. Adon was very close to winning, and Adon makes more. I got this at the Blu-ray Black Friday sale. It was like $2 or something crazy for the Blu-ray and the Blu-ray digital version, 2-disc Blu-ray. I was like, hell's yeah, I want to rewatch Heat. I had it on DVD, but I didn't have it on
Yeah.
Blu-ray, so I thought, you know what, for $2, yeah, I'll get that. And you
you're
made me
not
rewatch
saying
it again.
Dark Knight Rises is the worst Batman movie like out of all of them.
Oh yeah, over Batman. I'd rather watch Batman and Robin and the credit. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Listen, guys. I
Batman
know
What is
Forever.
happening right now?
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Okay.
But they both had Val Kilmer.
They did have both have Phil Kilmer. But go ahead. What were you saying, Tony?
I just, after being in that movie, I can't watch any other Batman movie. I can't relate to them. When the Joker's gassing Gotham in Batman '89, I'm like, I don't care. I'm not there. When the Joker's going to blow up the boats in The Dark Knight, I'm like, I'm not there. It doesn't bother me. When Ben Affleck is doing whatever the fuck happened in Batman v Superman, I'm like, doesn't bother me. Not there.
He was good
When
in
I
that.
when I watch
Yeah, I
Dark
gave
Knight
him his
Rises,
due.
I'm like,
Yeah, he
oh
was.
shit, I'm in that football stadium. I hope I make it out. I'm really, really concerned.
No, people are already mad at me. No, I don't like Dark Knight Rises. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think it's
Can you at least
very
like
fine
the scene
movie.
that I was in? Just like the scene that I was
But
in.
my biggest criticism of Dark Knight Rises, he's like Batman for like 10 minutes of the movie. It's like, I'm sorry, you made a trilogy, and he's literally Batman. He gives up being Batman for a girl, which is for like 10 years, and then decides to be Batman for 15 more minutes, and then he's dead or done or whatever. It goes off
He
and
really, like screen time wise though,
Yes.
is he really not in it that much
yes,
compared to
I did it for
Dark
the
Knight?
honest trailer. Go watch the honest trailer for Dark Knight Rises. I did the math. I did it. I added it all up. It's ridiculous.
There was a music
I
video I
mean,
remember
that
that
was
was
good.
based on the fact that he wasn't Batman for the
He
entire
wasn't
movie.
He's not Batman in that movie. It's like, what are you doing?
I
Why
guess
is
I
he
don't-
growing
I guess
a
I didn't-
depression
that never
beard?
bothered me because
Yeah.
I always like those movies for the villains anyways, like Bane and Joker.
Understand a word he says.
I'm bird. I love bird.
Very
Such a
memorable.
lovely, lovely
Look,
voice.
it's not the worst film ever made. I'm not an idiot, but of the Christopher Nolan movies, it's the worst of the three. I think they actually were released in best order. Batman Begins is the best. Dark Knight is great because Heath Ledger, and then Dark Knight Rises is man, it's. But anyway, they're all better than Batman v
right.
Superman.
Oh God, yeah.
Anyway, there you go. It's my unpopular opinion. I'm not a fan of Dark Knight Rises, and I think Dark Knight is overrated too. It's because of Heath Ledger that makes Dark Knight way better.
No, that
No,
movie's
he was the best
great,
part.
man.
It's a
a
great,
movie.
it's a solid movie. It's a solid movie. Heath Ledger made it a great movie.
Where's Rachel?
I
Where's
agree with you that the
Rachel?
third one is the worst out of the three of them, but I think number 2 is better than number 1.
I mean, this
that's
sounds
an
like
often
things
debate.
that people who weren't in the movie would say. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, Tony, you'll have to send us the code. Can I find it on YouTube? Did you put it on YouTube?
Wait, what?
If I look up Tony and Dark Knight Rises, will I find it on YouTube?
I mean, look up the football scene. I'm in the crowd. There's no close-up of me, but
I
I'm
was
there.
gonna say, if I
I'm
can actually-
behind the
if you walk-
goalpost.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna look.
So you
that
gotta
up,
get the
sorry.
4K version and then
4K
and zoom in directly to you.
Hopefully zoom in.
You can see him. He's the guy that's jumping the fence trying to get into the camera shot.
Dude, all right. So when they filmed that scene, they sat me next to an old lady who wouldn't shut up, and all she wanted to talk about was like how she didn't like Obama, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm making a movie here.
And that's your takeaway from that whole thing is an old lady talking about Obama?
That's
Oh no, everything else was cool.
why it was
And
the
then
greatest
she
experience.
got mad she couldn't bring her grandkids, and then she saw a kid on the field, and she's like, "Why is that kid there?" I'm like, "That's the director's son." He's like, "Why isn't she home with the mother?" I'm like, "Well, because his wife is the producer. She's actually right there next to the kid."
Why isn't she home making cookies? I don't know. There's a lot of
Just
unexplained
some
questions
old
that
lady
we
wanted
don't
to
answer.
impress her kid by being in Dark Knight Rises, and all she did was bitch to me about things that I didn't give a shit about.
Wow, exciting! I was trying to look up one of my favorite. Yeah, there we go. This is funny. Ready? Let's do this. You guys can't see it, but everyone at home, see if you can see me dancing in the dark with Joaquin Phoenix and Mark Wahlberg.
Oh my god, I saw it.
Did you see it? This is my fun extra story. I'm in the background. There I am. there it is. Right there. Oh, there I am. Yeah, you can sort of see me in the back. Charlize Theron wouldn't let us anywhere near her. She made sure, but you can see me. I have no beard. There I am. Woo! It's right in the back corner. But anyway, I was just gloating because you didn't actually have a clip ready, but I did. Here I am dancing with Joaquin Phoenix, Mark Wahlberg, in the movie The Yards.
Way to come prepared, Tony.
Have you ever seen The
I'm
Yards? Anybody?
sorry, I didn't think it would come up.
Drop the ball, Tony.
There I am. Yeah, there I am, baby. Woo! Dancing hard. Woo! Hard in the yards. Yeah. Go look up the Yards Club Rio scene. Somebody can find me there. I also walked behind Leonardo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can. So come on, Tony, don't throw extra stories unless you got actual photo evidence to gloat about it. But I know let's get the 4K
I have
look.
pictures from this set. I got to dig them up, but
I was an extra in James Cameron's Titanic. You can see me if you look really hard. You know.
In the waving
I was on
shot
an
from the boat when everyone's on the
an
boat
episode
waving.
of Drunk History. I have a
that's
whole
good.
rant about
That's close.
cheesesteaks if you want to watch that.
Oh, nice.
That sounds actually really funny.
Well, I gotta with somebody. I gotta applaud Adam Does Movies. You win! Bravo, Adam! You finally did a debate format with me. Sorry it wasn't movie fights. Sorry it's not on Screen Junkies. But hey, you can take what you get. Adam, you win. You get to plug first. Where can people find you?
They can find me on YouTube at Adam Does Movies, and I have a secondary channel, which is just my first and last name, Adam Olinger. That one's for the saucier bunch that likes rated R content, because YouTube doesn't like when you swear. So
It's weird, but now they seem to because of the whole COPA thing. It seems like they want us to be more dirty. I don't get
that
it.
thing is so weird.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
funny
talk
how they
about that
reversed
later.
it.
All right, and then so thank you, Adam. Go check out, support him. His link is down below in the description. Tony from Hack the Movies, bravo. Good job, man. You tried. Where can people find
tried.
you, Tony?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, Hack the Movies, or Twitch, Hack the Movies. You can also find me on Cinemassacre. I do rental reviews with James, the Angry Video Game Nerd. We do rental reviews every Friday.
Oh, man, I love James.
occasionally-
James, if you're watching, gotta be an honor to get you on the show. You are an
Yeah,
inspiration.
Angry
You're a
Video Game Nerd,
genius.
man, that's awesome.
You are hilarious. Spread the word. Tell me, hopefully, sorry you lost. You know what, Adam? You lose. Tony, you win. Go tell James that you won on the show.
No, because
That's
I
fair.
finally
I'll
get to
take
be
that. That's
Don.
fair.
You can't take that away from me.
Yeah, sorry.
I'll
Shannon, you can
physically
still have it, but
develop
Tony
that.
loses.
Yeah, Shannon came in with the clutch, Logan.
Yeah, that was a
Deadpool.
good reference. But Tony,
Yeah.
yes, people can find you there. Go support Tony from Hack the Movies. I loved the passion. And thank you for attempting there. You did sway me a little bit, but not over the edge. And I got to thank Adon and Shannon as always. You can find them Adon over at Nerd Tots on YouTube, and Shannon,
Absolutely.
she's all over our stuff. Thank you so much, Shannon and Adon, for coming. Anything you guys want to say?
For me, we're gonna be still doing the Nerd Tots thing that'll pick up in January again, but we'll be looking forward to always being here, supporting you as always. And Shannon, you take it from there.
Yeah, just continue watching Andy's content. If you had a different opinion or anything like that, always you can make a short video, send it to him of what your thoughts were about
Yeah,
the fight
good
and what
idea.
side you are.
Auditions.
Yeah, just do it.
Where do we get those? Where do we get those headphones, Shannon?
Walmart.
Everybody, they were pretty impressive. They stood out. Good job. Someone needs to green
They are
You
my
want to
screen.
know where I got
Yeah.
mine? It was
Yeah.
also Walmart. They were $10.
Oh wow, those aren't out. Well, good for you. I was
Yeah,
just saying,
they're really shitty.
someone
They're
should
really shitty.
green screen in behind Adam and then green screen something like Leia hair on Shannon for us. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it's my
Green screen.
Princess Leia headphones.
Green screen
Anytime I
tricks.
come on, I feel like I'm a bigger nerd and I appreciate it.
Well, you guys are amazing nerds. Thank you so much for joining me. Are you down to stick around for a couple more minutes?
Absolutely.
We're going to do an after show. If Tony and Adam give me 2 more minutes just so I can say goodbye to you there. For those of you that subscribe or are members, you can go over to the community tab for the war stories where we'll talk a little bit longer, and then I'll send them off. Don and I will hang out, if Shannon too, if you're around. But join us over there in the community tab if you're a member. If you're not a member yet, you can go hit join and join us where we do a little bit of a live stream talking about how the show went. So all you members, thank you so much for that support. You keep this channel going. Come find us at the community tab. If you aren't, you can find it later. It will live there forever. There's a bunch of unlisted cool content that only members can access. You can also get it through Patreon. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you. We'll be back with more Nerd Wars Thursday to wrap up this first season, and then we're going to be taking a break for the holidays, and then I hope to come back with a championship edition. So that means, Adam, you might have to come back for the champions round.
I'm in. I'm ready.
So
Hey,
bravo.
but you guys should come on Movie Feuds too. I have guest hosts on, so I'd love to get your contact info after this.
Yeah, Adam, I would
okay.
love to do a movie feuds. Let me know anytime. And
Yep.
bravo to all. Thank you for all you watching. I love you. We'll be back next Tuesday. Thursdays. I'm tired. It's late here. But thank you so much for watching. If you are a member, again, community tab, join us for War Stories. Thank you, everybody. Bye.